How's she going, folks? It's your host, Levi.
And John.
And welcome to Oh For Heaven's Sake. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, John.
Yeah, that's why I was so locked in there. I had to get my game face on.
Gotta open up the drink, man.
Crispy.
Oh, John already opened up his drink. He's
I'm gonna
be
forgot
honest, how the podcast
it's been that long. I just cracked it open like literally the second you handed it to me. I'm surprised you didn't notice.
Oh, geez. But we got an interesting podcast today. First, we're going to start about the Minecraft movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really popular thing going on right now, of course. Tons of people are going to see it. We went and seen it on the second day it was out. And after that, we're going to talk about our Minecraft server that we started.
Yep.
And then we're going to get into a little bit of a NFL draft talk. It's this week, Thursday. Very excited. And but let's start with the Minecraft movie, Johnny.
Alrighty. If you want to watch a movie that somehow might honestly be the worst movie that you've ever watched, but also not bad, I feel like that about sums up the Minecraft movie right there. It is the most unserious movie you'll ever watch, but it makes it tolerable almost in a sense.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty fair. I would say it's the best movie ever and the worst movie ever. In the same sentence.
Yeah.
But basically, there's no like plot line. I'd say
zero.
However, it's extremely funny. And if you're into comedy movies, and especially you played Minecraft in your lifetime, it's definitely
which everyone has.
It's definitely something you got to go watch just because it's like you have to. I mean, it's one of the best games of all time, and I don't know, it's almost nostalgic in a way.
Levi's getting the unk nostalgia.
We're going big words today. That might be the word of the day.
Yeah, it's at an 87% on the old popcorn meter, which is up there for movies. So
I'd say they probably picked like the best group of people to film that movie. Like Jack Black as Steve, I feel like is like just the best person you could have picked because he actually just goes for it. He uses all of his comedy and all of the power that he has. He just goes full on comedy mode.
Yeah, the Minecraft movie is now blown past 700 million at the box office. So that's very good.
They're getting paid.
Yeah.
What is that ranked all time?
I can't pull up that information that quickly, but
wow. Should be ready for this, John.
I know I should have been ready. My bad.
All right, what are your thoughts on the Minecraft movie, though? Like, what was the best part?
Honestly, the best part is mostly just the memes that have came from it, whether that be before the movie even came out, like the trailer memes, or after when people were recording in the movie theater of the chicken jockey, and then all of a sudden World War III happens.
That's actually, oh God, those are so good.
I would say our theater, I almost wish that happened. It was not as energetic as what I've seen in those videos, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's really just like clapping at the end of the movie.
I probably would have gone a little crazier if I wasn't locked in for that movie, but
yeah. But I would say definitely the chicken jockey was pretty funny.
Everyone knew it was coming,
Yeah.
It was just classic.
The Steve's Lava Chicken or whatever it's called.
Lava.
I mean, talk about a vibey song.
Steve's Lava Chicken, yeah. It's tasty as hell. Ooh, mama, now you're ringing the bell.
It's something that gets stuck in your head. It's something you can't forget. It's electric, some might say.
It's a lava attack.
Now on to the Minecraft Civilization server that we ended up creating ourselves.
I'm excited about that.
It's something that we already kind of got started a couple weeks ago. We began promoting, as you guys can see on our YouTube channel. We got a couple pages,
Discord and bio of this video too as well.
We got a couple videos on our YouTube channel talking about it, and of course, just like John said, Discord is in the description. And it's something that we were really excited about. And we got season 1 through in the books. It was more of a beta season, only lasted a week because a lot of technical issues. But season 2 is underway now.
There's still issues,
With this,
live, laugh, love is all I can say.
With this being posted pretty much right away, you guys actually can join the Civ server pretty much probably by Thursday, I would say, if John gets to you on the whitelist application. But basically Minecraft Civilization server. It's something that has been really popular in the past, especially like a couple of years ago, but it's still popular now. And we have, I think, 9 colonies, but you can also play it kind of like solo in a way. And there's just a lot of drama, and you can fight, make alliances, all sorts of stuff. And it's all within like this 8x8,000 border. And it's pretty entertaining. And then, of course, at the ending, there's an end fight. And whoever holds on to the dragon egg for 30 minutes wins, basically.
Yep.
So that's always fun. And this season's going to last a lot longer than 1 week. So make sure you join now, and you will have a good chance at playing and establishing yourself, because you got plenty of time. Got plenty of time to establish.
Plenty of time. And great community. Don't forget. We have a great community. Join Deeks Point if you want the best. That's all I'm going to say.
Our little promotion, our colony is called Deeks Point. It's an homage to a Minecraft creative
city world. It was Deeks Point City. Oh, man.
Those are the
good old days. Only reason I would buy an iPad right now, honestly, is just so I could play that again.
Yeah, I missed that one, man. I'm assuming you guys kind of had this point too during COVID, where you kind of just got into your Minecraft phase for a couple weeks. I feel like the Minecraft phase was elongated.
It was
during the COVID times,
because
we played for months, like pretty much months straight. It seemed like in that city world.
Well, it pretty much was, because we played during that 2-week spurt that we had like fully online for school. I was at our farm, funny enough.
Yeah.
Our farmhand, out of all people, got exposed to COVID, so then I had to quarantine because I seen him not that long ago, so that I got another week.
Yeah. So that was pretty crazy, but God, I had so much fun building on that city world, and hopefully down the road, I have mentioned to our community on Discord that we will create a city world that has like a whole currency system, a judge, kind of like a government system, and I think that'll be something very fun that you guys will want to join in the future.
Yeah, Mr. Gigstead will be there.
Our Gov teacher.
Yep, I've learned everything I've ever known about Gov from him, so he's got to be there.
Yep,
he'll be our executive justice.
Well, do you have anything else to add for the Minecraft server? Any more comments that we're forgetting?
Levi hit all the main points. All I have to say is forgive server performance. It's an old server. Even though people say it has good specs, it's old. Okay, so even though it's good at the time, maybe it's old still. In case you can tell, it's old.
Right behind you actually is the server.
Yeah, you actually might even be able to hear it a little bit in the background because it's that loud, but
it's a little obnoxious at some points, but luckily we have good microphones.
Yep, and luckily we don't have more than one. The day that ever happens, Levi will be wondering why we even sit in here.
Mm-hmm. But now it's time to talk about my Super Bowl, the NFL draft. Okay, NFL draft. I've been preparing for months and months. I actually created my own.
Oh,
what was that?
Oh, nothing. I was saying, like, for the folks at home, like, get ready, grab your popcorn,
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to fall asleep, but you're going to learn a lot.
You're going to fall asleep after the draft, right?
Yeah, exactly, because you're going to be so tired.
Yeah, because it's just a pure excitement. But the NFL draft is my Super Bowl as a Vikings fan, of course. It's the joke that we always say because we're not going to win the Super Bowl, so we got to look forward to next year. But I have been preparing. I have my own kind of big board that I actually created myself on Google Doc, because I have all the time in the world. So I got like my top 10 rankings.
You're not using
for all
Google
players
Sheets?
And not Google Sheets,
I feel like this would be more of a spreadsheet kind of thing,
It definitely is, actually. And I think I will start doing that in the future, especially since I'm currently taking Exploring Business Software.
Yeah.
So I'm learning about Excel spreadsheet, PowerPoint, all that stuff right now. So now I'm definitely more prepared.
Excel on top, all I'm going to say.
So, but yeah, I'm really excited. 2 days away. And I've been starting the countdown. You know, it's been ticking for a month now, probably.
Yeah, I know. Levi has been almost twiddling his thumbs in nervousness for this. He's so excited.
Well, I've been listening to podcast over podcast over podcast these last few days, just making sure I know everything. I have all, my expectations. And make sure you follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, for all my NFL draft takes and reactions. Oh, SpaceX. Oh, John's got a SpaceX shirt on.
Yep, got it at Kennedy Space Center, but I'll talk more about that when we reach more personal stuff in the later half.
Yeah, and for the NFL draft week, I have been, like I said, really preparing. On Thursday, I'm going to be sitting in my basement for probably, 5 hours straight.
Levi's going to become a Discord mod.
I'm not going to get up. And it's going to be a fantastic time.
Levi's even going to forget that he has a girlfriend, and he's just going to lock in.
I'm going to lock in for the draft for 5 hours straight.
I'm going to text her beforehand being like, okay, I won't be able to talk to you for 5 hours.
I'm actually taking a really long nap.
Mm-hmm.
No, but, I mean, there's a lot to be excited about in this year's draft.
There is. Kind of like how I'm excited to tell you about our sponsors.
Whoa.
Deeks Pizza. Only the best pizza in the Fargo-Moorhead area. If you want to give them a try, they have 2 convenient locations in Fargo and 1 in Grand Forks. Grand Forks is the original. But if you're looking for quality, fresh, and fast pizza, all for a very good price, go give Deeks Pizza a try. But too as well, thank you to DJ Colter Agencies for providing us with some of our podcast equipment studios. If you guys are looking for the best in insurance, whether that be family, home, farm, business, or just even life in general, go to DJ Colter Agencies and get high quality care without any stress. And last but not least, Mr. Ryan Finley at Finley on the Roof. He will hang up any of your Christmas lights, help you, and make sure that you get to spend more time with your family this Christmas time. But thank you to our sponsors, and we'll see you right back in the draft.
Wow. Now that was truly electric. You know what else is electric? My favorite guy in the NFL draft. All right. Now it's my turn for a fun transition. I'm just going to quickly go over my guys for the NFL draft at each position.
Levi loves guys.
Wait, what? Football related.
Oh, my bad.
However, all right, we're gonna dive in. We got Jackson Dart is my guy for the NFL draft. So my reasoning behind my guys is just like guys I'm excited to see in the NFL, not necessarily who I think is the best, but I think who might be a little underrated. Jackson Dart, he's starting to get the buzz going now. He's got a buzz.
Actually,
no, but first round project, honestly, at this point. However, I think he'll probably fall to the second round from Ole Miss. Then we got Dylan Sampson, running back from Tennessee. Matthew Golden, Texas wide receiver. Mitchell Evans, tight end for Notre Dame. I think he's really under the radar. Somebody that isn't really talked about. Josh Connerly, offensive tackle from Oregon. I think he'll be back into the first round, probably to the Chiefs, is my prediction. Then we got Charles Grant, interior offensive lineman. People say he can play at tackle. I think he's more fit to be a guard in the NFL, and I think he'll be best at guard. However, if you need a tackle, he can definitely handle that. We got Jordan Phillips, Maryland defensive tackle. I mean, he's very toolsy is kind of what I would say. He's a raw talent. Hasn't really reached his full potential. He's just a sophomore declaring. So that's really exciting. And with a cheaper price tag, he'll be more of like your late day 2-ish type of guy, maybe even day 3. Then we got edge rusher Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M. He'll be a first rounder. Chris Paul Jr. from Ole Miss as a linebacker. Savon Ravel, cornerback from East Carolina, which is kind of fun. Freak athlete, tore his ACL last year. But I think he's got a ton of potential. And then lastly, safety Kevin Winston Jr., Penn State. I think he's very, very solid as well. That's, once again, with the cheaper price tag in like that third round. So I'm pretty happy about that guy if I'm the Vikings. So, speaking of the Vikings,
Oh, here we go. This is now where I'm interested.
now it's you're full of hope.
I'm a fake football fan. I love football. Playing football is fun too, but I don't really watch football unless if it's the Vikings.
Yeah. This is NFL draft season, of course. Like I said, the Vikings are picking at 24 this year. Very optimistic. Should be more cautiously optimistic, but I'm not. I would say the needs right now for the Vikings are offensive line, mainly that left guard position for competition for Blake Brandel. And then we got corner, like always. We never hit on corners. They always die as well, which is crazy. We have a safety need, especially with Harrison Smith, very likely to be done after this year. And then defensive line. I mean, we addressed the defensive line in free agency with 2 additions. However, both of the additions were like 30-ish years old, Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. So I still think drafting a D tackle early on is a smart idea because, you have time to develop him and you want to have a deep rotation as a defense or on the defensive line. And then my first round pick prediction. All right. My official prediction for the Vikings
Let's hear it.
is if we don't trade down, which I do believe is a strong possibility because we only have 4 picks in the draft, 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 6th. I believe we'll draft Malachi Starks if he's there. He's a safety from Georgia.
Malachi Warmeyer?
Malachi Starks.
Oh.
Warmeyer is a high schooler.
My bad. I thought he went pro already.
If Starks is not on the board, I think we go with probably a D tackle and Derek Harmon, Oregon defensive tackle, or potentially a guy like Kenneth Grant, D tackle from Michigan. Those are kind of my 3 predictions right now. But like I said, with those 4 positions, I can be kind of swayed in many directions for players that we take.
Yep.
Now, what are your thoughts on the Vikings? What do you think the Vikings need to address? What are you looking for?
All right. This is the casual fan perspective.
Fan perspective.
I'm
here.
a casual fan. I don't get too deep into this. I'm not doing draft analysis like Levi. I'll maybe even watch the draft. Most of the time, I just look to see what happened at the draft rather than watch it.
Yeah.
But I would say, just get better. Honestly, like just get good players.
Best player available type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, don't worry about the position. Just draft the best guy available.
Exactly.
So, I mean, typically that does work.
That's how it works, right?
Typically that does work, unless there's a screaming need, like on your team. Did the draft start? Oh my god! Who's about to pick?
John's about to pick.
Oh. What's your position projection? Who do you think the Vikings take? What position?
I think the Vikings need. I'm trying to replay the last couple of games in my head that I remember from last year. I'm going to say we could totally use. I'd say corner.
Okay.
For sure.
I mean, you could just fake it till you make it, and you could say corner every year, and everybody would listen to you and agree. Because we never hit on corners. And like my dad was saying, he is sick and tired of drafting corners in the first round because they never work. So just draft something else, and pick up corners.
Yep.
But
pick up quarters.
Pick up quarters. It is money.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right about that.
But of course, let me know because I'll be the one actually responding to this question in the comments. Let me know if you're excited for the NFL draft and who do you think your favorite team should draft? And who's your favorite team? So I know.
Yeah, I think we should draft Naquan Treadwell.
Almost launched the remotes.
Yep. Jeez.
My bad.
Watch out, man.
All right, now for the stuff that John's been dying to talk about. the more personal stuff, because we haven't made a podcast in forever. So John especially has a lot to talk about.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, live, laugh, love. Life has been living, and we've been laughing, and I've done a little loving.
Potentially.
But, I went on a vacation to Florida. That was fun. Went to Kennedy Space Center, took a helicopter ride, drove around Florida, got to see New Smyrna Beach, all that fun stuff. Most importantly, I got to eat good food. I feel like that's
always the thing that you're most excited about.
Exactly, on vacation. You see the sights, but most importantly, it's when you sit down and eat grub.
Yeah.
And grub I did. I grubbed too much that now I've been on the cut for like the last month. So,
Yep. You got to even it out now.
Exactly.
God, I love Florida. I mean, I've been very vocal about that. I'm assuming at one point or another I've talked about Florida on past
More
podcasts.
than one point.
It's definitely a place I want to, if not live there as like a summer, or live there in the winter times, actually.
Yep.
At least go visit every once in a while, just because it's such a chill place. And I mean, it's very nice there. There's ocean everywhere. It's a peninsula, basically.
Whoa, official term used.
Big word of the day. But there's nothing better than just going into the ocean when you're especially not used to seeing the ocean. It just boggles your mind almost. How there's these sharks, there's dolphins, whales that are literally at the top of the water. These massive creatures that you get to see. Like, it's a different world, basically, is what I'm trying to say, and it's exciting.
Did I hear massive creatures? Would you like to know what else is massive?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let it slide for once.
But I don't know.
No!
Wow.
Coming in when you least expected.
Wow. That was impressive. You went for that one. I respect that. I respect that play.
Yeah, I have to keep you guys on your toes,
You know what I'm saying though, right? Like,
yeah,
when it comes to like seeing dolphins and stuff, it's just like all the big fish around here. You have to go fishing for them. You can't just see them. They're always at the bottom of the lake.
We ate at the first place we ate at when we got there. It was Deck Down Under. It was underneath one of the bridges by Daytona, and
if you change one letter in the first word, it sounds really bad. I'm not going to say it, but
get your mind out of the gutter, okay?
It's my bad.
It had fantastic fish, and you could see fish, just like literally. You look over the deck, boom.
Catfish, especially, I'd assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And dolphins. That's where we saw dolphins.
It's so weird. Like, you could just be eating somewhere and just dolphins right next to you.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Florida, especially going on like vacation there. I just love going to the ocean, not necessarily swimming, but just going on those dolphin cruises. I've always been a huge fan of those. It's just fun to watch. To watch them.
100%.
But you got to talk about SpaceX, NASA, and just Kennedy Space Center in general, because of course that's probably the most exciting part.
Fantastic. We got there as soon as it opened, and we left when it closed. It was a great time. We hit up everything. A lot of good history there. A lot of good sights.
Yeah.
Gets you patriotic.
Yep. Shed a tear.
Yeah, shed a tear or two. And then, got to hear a direct account from a current astronaut. So that was pretty cool.
And I never even asked you about that. I was just thinking about that, actually. How did that go?
It was good.
Because you had, what, a lunch with an astronaut, right? Is that what it was?
No.
Oh.
It was just like a presentation, almost like an auditorium.
Okay. That makes more sense.
That's basically what it was. It was in their auditorium. He was up there and just speaking about his experiences.
Was there like a Q&A type thing at the ending, or no?
Yeah, your boy was not about to ask a question.
Yeah.
But, there was.
What was like the craziest thing he said that like kind of surprised you, or anything like that was of note?
I would probably say
or like how did he become an astronaut, and how was like the grind to like?
Oh, I would say
one of
it's
those?
mostly for the fact that they legit have to like exercise like crazy when they're up there, so that way they don't come back skin and bones.
Yep. It breaks down your bone marrow or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to work out a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. But it's kind of funny how similar NASA is, because little insider info. I edited John's vlog, and John edited my vlog. So we did a little flip-flop.
we wanted to keep it enjoyable.
Yeah. And when I was editing your vlog, I thought it was very funny in a way that NASA was very similar to when I was there. Like it hasn't changed a ton. The space shuttle hasn't moved.
Well, that's good.
hasn't flown away yet. But
I was actually planning on lighting that up this week.
taking it for a spin.
Yep.
For a whip.
Drive it around town.
But gosh, that place is really cool, especially since I'm a space junkie. I'm a space nut, some may say. I love learning about space. But
Levi gets high on space.
But yeah, that was something of note. I thought it'd be fun to talk about NASA. But what else?
Helicopter tour. That was fun. Really fun.
It looked like you had some good views too
It
of
was-
like all the theme parks and stuff.
It was. Some may say it was the best views they've ever seen. Only the best.
I keep hitting the day.
Yeah,
hitting the dang arm.
Levi did a hydro flask.
We'll reveal it.
Off-brand, MPF sponsored microphone holder.
Yep. So this microphone sags a lot. So in order to have it keep up here,
Yeah, I think it's all right here. It gets a little weak in the old joints. You know, it has arthritis and it keeps sagging.
Bad joints.
This one's fine because it rests on the couch, but. And then 2 as well. Just seeing, I like flying, and flying on both Southwest and United. Great experiences.
What are the key differences?
Key
It
difference
was like a
is that
big difference.
yes. Number one, United actually gives you something without you having to pay for it. You get a pop, and you get one of their snacks.
Just
they
like
do.
Delta. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to pay extra for it. Where on the other hand, Southwest, if you want a pop and a snack, whip out $10 because that's how much you're going to be like paying.
Whip it out. Money.
Yep.
Whip out the money.
Yep. And 2 as well, Southwest, no screens.
Oh my god. Get out the board games.
Yep.
Maybe some cards. Play a little Go Fish.
United, at least, we were in one of their newer aircraft. Obviously, the connecting flight in one of the Bombardier regional jets.
Mhm.
Obviously, didn't have screens, but at least the main flight, we went to Chicago for our connecting flight, and they had screens on the first flight, which was it was actually the newest plane in their fleet. Oh, not out of their hull, but the newest operating aircraft in their fleet.
Yeah.
The A321 Neo.
Oh, not the Neo.
Yes, Airbus.
I do like the Neos when
Mhm.
we're flying in Microsoft Flight
Yeah,
Simulator.
we always fly Airbus. They are easier to fly by far.
Yeah. So what did you even do? I know you kind of raw dogged the flight a little bit, but on that Southwest flight with no
I raw dogged
screen,
a lot of those flights.
just
I'm gonna be
staring out the
honest.
window.
Yeah. I don't know what it is because I haven't flown them forever. So I was, especially on the first flight, I struggled with the pressure difference in ears.
Yeah.
Because when we landed, that whole day after we landed, my ears didn't pop. So I
That's
just
crazy.
had nonstop ear pressure, which was annoying. And it's not the best feeling when you're actuating to that. So I didn't want to put in headphones because I thought that'd make it even worse. On the ones that with the screen, instead of actually watching a movie or doing something normal, I just had up the flight map the entire time with the cockpit view, so it shows you our altitude and our speed and our vector.
John was calculating everything, just like the old days.
Pretty much. Like I did nothing on all those flights. Like I think the most amount is I had one downloaded YouTube video that I watched for like, it was like 20 minutes, but that was it. And then maybe listen to music for an hour between all the flights.
Yeah. I'm just used to flying. By now I got my own private jet. Now going to Hawaii.
Do your parents have a Delta credit card?
Yes.
I was about to say, there's got to be a reason why you always fly Delta.
Yeah. We had, I think, 2 like free seats or something.
Makes
like
sense.
that.
That's the main reason. Being a card holder, you get a lot of perks.
But going to Hawaii, I realized I can talk about that because we never made a podcast after that as well.
Levi, literally, we haven't made a podcast in like 4 months.
Yeah. So Hawaii was extremely fun, and all I could say is that's the most beautiful place on earth. I'm very confident in saying that I've seen at least so far. Mm-hmm. But we had 3 flights to Hawaii, 2 connecting flights, which is crazy. So we went from Fargo to Minneapolis, which I am a huge fan of because it saves tons of time, tons of gas.
Yep.
Because we used to always just drive to Minneapolis, but now we do connecting flights. So we go Fargo to Minneapolis, Seattle to Honolulu. So that was a very long day. But we gained some hours, we gained 6 hours. So that kind of helped a little bit. So by the time we got there, it was like supper time. And we left in the morning for flying, but
nice. I was going to say, I double checked. The last podcast we did was October 15th.
Jesus, I did not realize it was that long.
It was that long.
It's crazy. I thought it was a couple months maybe. But Hawaii was great. First night, like right once we got there, horrible weather. Like it was raining and like low key like.
Luckily, only had one day of that. It was Sunday where it rained in the afternoon, so we just kind of went in early. Yeah.
But when it comes to Hawaii's weather, it was like perfect the whole time we were there outside of that first night.
You could say it's hot, kind of like how hot it is in this room right now. Oh my gosh, it is 78 in here, and this man's dad won't let us turn on the AC.
Gotta call him out. Hawaii, the cool thing as well, though, is it stays about 80 degrees year round. Like it doesn't get too hot, not too cold, of course. It's like perfect temperature all year round.
Where Florida can get pretty hot in the summers.
Yeah, it can get up to, in the hundreds, of course, at the hottest.
At least it is in Arizona.
Yeah. So Hawaii, we just, we went to Oahu, stayed in Honolulu by, I think it was Waikiki Beach.
Okay.
And
I love the names of everything that they have. Waikiki Beach.
The beaches were really good in Oahu. We actually went to Kauai as well. I'll talk about that in a little bit here. And then we seen Pearl Harbor day 1, which is really cool to see. John's got to see it eventually, in his lifetime. Got to go to Pearl Harbor.
It's a good spot.
And
oh yeah, I forgot about that. I went to the Titanic Museum. That was also a really good museum to go to.
And after Pearl Harbor, each day we had like basically one thing planned, and then afterwards we'd kind of like go to the beach, or we one of the days in my mom's birthday we had a luau we went to, which was great food. I did not realize it was going to be that good. I thought it was going to be good food, but like
Levi grubbed.
It was one of my favorite places we were at. And then we also hiked up a mountain one random day. We became a hiking family all of a sudden. I had to make a joke about that.
Hikes are fun. If
Diamond Head is what it's
If you
called.
want a good spot to hike, like in North Dakota, low key, hiking along the James River Reservoir there in Jamestown, very nice.
John's random comment of the day.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna be honest. I would be like, Jamestown actually has some really nice recreational areas over there. Like they literally have like the whole like reservoir area where they have like a beach almost there.
Yeah.
For in the summer, it's actually a really nice area.
back on Hawaii. Just a slight upgrade from Jamestown.
No, Jamestown, ND, man, big town.
Yep.
Even bigger dreams.
Millions of people there.
Yep. It's packed.
We also went snorkeling. That was mainly in Kauai. And snorkeling, man, is a different world. I did not expect that at all. I didn't realize the water would be that clear. And there is fish everywhere. Like, it's completely different from freshwater, of course.
Yep.
And, I mean, it's definitely more vibrant and, like, colorful. And when you're snorkeling, you look below you, and there's fish, like, everywhere right on the beach. Like, it's insane how different it is, and I never would have known that. I look down, and there is, like, sea urchins everywhere, too. Like, I don't know how people don't step on sea urchins more often. It's crazy to me. It doesn't make any sense. And, of course, those are poisonous, so you got to be very careful. And then, I mean, I've seen a sea starfish, which is really cool, and just a lot of, pretty common.
That's why whenever
colorful fish
I go into the water, I always wear water shoes.
Yeah, I did wear water shoes.
I refuse to go barefoot, just with the amount of crap that can be at the bottom.
But also, when it comes to Hawaii, there's a lot of lava rock, because of the volcano. And you got to wear water shoes. However, in Waikiki, you don't necessarily for a good bit. There are rocks every once in a while that you'll encounter and are very painful. But, yeah, it was just a crazy place in the North Shore. That is the most beautiful, nostalgic, like, place you'll ever see in your whole life. For me, at least. Like, holy, like, I can't even, like, express how cool it was. Speechless, truly speechless. But yeah, that's pretty much what we did there, and we also grubbed a lot.
Yes, most important.
God, the food is good there, man. It was impressive.
Kind of like how impressive this episode has been.
Whoa, are we gonna go into our segments?
I think it's segment time. You got a little nice personal view. We're not gonna get too personal. You're not in our house yet.
Yep.
But
you're not in the family yet. We haven't accepted you in there.
But I was just reading over some of the stuff that you had down, and it looks like you're hating on Germany.
So I did Today in History. Last couple podcasts we did, I actually did AI songs as my switch up segment.
Yep.
So we haven't done Today in History in a long time, and I wanted to bring it back. Little blast from the past. And just like
a little blast from the past. With these ones, it's for real a blast from the past.
But yeah, this Today in History. I remember why I stopped doing Today in History, because it was so negative every time, every single time. However,
Definitely
first one's positive.
Negative.
First one's positive. April 22nd, 1876, the first National League baseball game occurred. The Boston Red Caps defeated the Philadelphia Athletics 6-5. Whoa.
Nail biter.
Gotta note that. Not a big baseball guy, but I feel like that's notable. And it's actually positive.
And the rest is not.
All right, now to the negative stuff, okay? April 22nd, 1915. Just hearing that year, you guys can probably expect what's about to happen. Germans introduced poison gas by delivering 150 tons of chlorine gas against the French in World War I.
War crime.
That's crazy. But luckily, it's a war crime. And hopefully it never happens ever again. Now, April 22nd, 1945, Hitler admits defeat. We win. We're better. And that was the end of World War II, pretty much. So
yes, and that
was
also the end
positive.
of Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I mean, yeah, technically. I mean, he killed himself. But, at least that's somewhat positive. At least that was over.
Yes.
So if you think about it, I mean, it was kind of positive, but... All right, John's turn.
All right, so I have the food of the week, okay? And, there's a lot of thought that goes into picking the right dish, the right food that really is going to inspire your week. For me, easy. Had it for breakfast the last couple times. Guacamole. Fantastic.
Guacamole toast, you mean?
Well, guacamole in general.
Just
'cause,
eat guacamole by itself.
Well, you don't have to have it with toast. You know, you can have it with chips. You can have it on tacos. You can have it
I mean,
in your car. You can have
chips
it in
and
the
guac.
air. You can have it anywhere.
whoa, John with the rhymes today. He's bringing it. He's bringing the boom. All right.
Yes.
But
It's like a green eggs and ham special.
chips and guac, especially homemade guacamole with a little like hint of lime, so good, dude. Like if you haven't had it in a while, then especially my mom makes it at the lake every once in a while.
Makes it relive the glory days.
Jeez, it's so good. But
thank you guys for coming along this trip with us down the Oh for Heavens podcast lane. It's been a while. As always, we hope to be back with more of these sooner or later. But, depending on our schedules, it might not happen for another month or two.
maybe another 6 months.
Pre-college podcast. That'd be pretty fire.
We probably should do that, yeah.
But anyways, it was nice talking to you guys. Keep her between the ditches.
See you guys in the next one.